Alright, so I'm on to another project, and it's getting late in the year. It's October the 6th now, and I still haven't started my firewood other than a few odd logs that I took down. I've barely started gathering my firewood for next year, so that process has to start this fall. I have to have it cut by, I don't know, sometime in the spring, and then take it home and junk it up and pile it all again for next year. So that process I have to get underway soon, but we have all the materials bought to do a small barn for a couple goats over here, and I'm hoping to get some goats out here on my pasture area next year in order to do some farm work for me. Basically, I've got all kinds of brush that needs to be eaten and cleared out of the way, and I've got to start rejuvenating the soil over here. So the plan is to try to get some goats, but I'm running really late in the year to try to get all this done. And right now, I'm trying to get this Jesus big rock moved. There, it started to go, finally. So as I'm going with my crowbar, I'm trying to find, I don't know if you call it fulcrums or levers or something, things that I can either haul up on this thing or push down over top of a fulcrum and get this rock to move. And then as it moves, if you're working by yourself, you're usually taking other rocks and maybe trying to jam them in underneath or something like that to keep it from coming back on you, right? Or you're losing your progress. So after doing that for a while last night, this thing's finally moving for me. This is the first I hit it here tonight. And see, it was down in a hole to make it worse. So there was no way I was going to lift this thing. So it's been a job to get it out of that hole. But there it is. Awesome. So this is going to be one of my foundation rocks. What you're seeing here, if you can see the rocks coming along and going in that direction, this would have been done by a farmer many years ago who cleared the field and hauled all the rock back, and he left a column here. Possibly it also served the purpose as livestock fencing for like cows to keep them from leaving the area. So I'm just feeding off some of that rock that he has along here and grabbing it to do a foundation for underneath this little building that we're going to do. And this one's going to work perfect. I'll pause and get this into position and then show maybe a different angle here of what I'm doing. Okay, I got to come back on here for a minute for fear of timing out on our video. I don't have my little guy with me tonight. I wish I did. I need his muscle over here. He recently started lifting weights, and I'm really proud of him. Okay, it's almost in place. Holy Jesus. Okay, so I got that guy moved out of the hole it was in over there, over to roughly where the corner is of the building. Not exactly sitting the way I wanted to do. I was hoping it was going to kind of sit down one side in a low point and come level on the top over here, but it's still sitting really canted. I'll have to figure something out with that. Anyways, I just wanted to quickly explain what I got here. Okay, so what I've done is started with a corner post approximately where the building was going to start. Maybe the foundation will start a foot or so in from that. And then I ran a line down to a tree down there, over to that tree, and all the way back out to this corner. I need a little more tension in my lines to make this work right, but this serves two purposes: so that I can level it along the string and see exactly where I guess that string comes level to where I want my foundation rock to go. So that gives that guide. It also gives the line for my foundation, a nice straight line for it to follow. And because I have the other line coming back, I can now measure from one line to the other, the distance, say, between there and there, those two trees, and then make sure that the same distance it is out here between this peg and this peg. And that way I can pretty well ensure that I'm square as well on my building. So now I've looked after, with the little bit of trouble it takes to run all of this, I've looked after leveling it and squaring it all off so that my foundation will be where I want it. And for this little building, it's only going to be 6.5 feet this way and 8 feet going that way, with the roof sloping up to the high side over here. And it's just a small building to house a couple goats for a season that I hope to raise. Yeah, so we'll wrap this up. Anyways, our cabin build that we did the other year, we started that I think 2 summers ago, and finished a lot of it last summer. We only got into that, filming that really late through the process. So this year, little structure, I hope to film right from start to finish, and I'm going to go ahead and work at placing my stone. The hard part here with stonework is to try to get it level so that your building's going to sit on a nice level footing. It's a lot easier probably using like deck block and traditional framing and stuff like that, but I happen to have all this field rock here, and at least for a few corners of this building I figure I can get a couple rocks to be leveled out and support it, and we'll go from there. So I'll do an update at some point here on the project. Cheers.